Now you had some reconstructive surgery.
Yes, I went through, they had taken, as I said before, it was a complete mastectomy. There was nothing left in the right breast. We left that breast till after I had finished my chemo and radiation, of course. And then I saw a specialist who is a breast cancer specialist in the reconstruction field. I was given some options of what kind of reconstruction, and there's lots of choices depending on, again, your body and what you're comfortable with. I chose to have the TRAM done, which is where they take your stomach, trans reverse abdominis rectus muscle, and they actually tunnel it underneath, and they form a natural breast again, the tissue underneath the breast. And in saying that, because the tissue was gone, I had a flat right chest, they had to be able to build a tissue, and they couldn't stretch the skin. So in doing that tummy operation, they had to take like a smiley face so they could form the cup of your breast to form new tissue, so you'd have a breast tissue to put over your muscle. And so that was the first. That was a big one. It was a big surgery, but it was well worth it. Is what I needed to feel the balance again. It's not about it's not so much as losing the breast as losing your sensuality. It's not sexuality, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It's your balance as a female and your sensuality, and just wanting to feel that balance again. So that was a big surgery. It went very successful. But in doing that, they had to do further surgery to balance out the existing healthy breast. It is a true balancing act, and it's not something they can just do all at once. So through a few more surgeries, they were able to get everything balanced out, and everything healed well. So I was quite pleased with the outcome.
Now you'd also had, though, you had a reaction, I think, to, they had recommended you use an antibiotic ointment. We won't know which one it was.
No, when they do the TRAM procedure, they actually cut you from hip to hip, and it is from hip to hip. So there's a large incision, which it does heal. It heals well, especially when you have a very qualified surgeon doing it. But a bit of that incision had kind of opened up and oozed, and we were trying to treat it, but with an oozing wound you have to be careful what you apply to it. So the physician had recommended an ointment.
What is that?
The physician had recommended using an ointment to heal it, to start the healing process faster. What happened with me is I reacted in this rash that traveled, and it started at the hip and grew and grew and grew, and it just got worse and worse no matter what I did. The thing that was relevant at the time is my one daughter was getting married, and
it was warm weather too.
It was warm weather, and I had bought myself for the first time a beautiful strapless gown. My concern was it was like a week before the wedding, and this traveling, and I was afraid I was going to have this red rash all the way out.
Mother of the bride pictures.
And I just couldn't have that. But it was just from using this ointment that it caused, and it was my body reacting to it. That's simply said. That's all it was reaction.
And you used, it was Roman chamomile hydrosol, wasn't it, to calm the rash?
Yeah. And to get it to calm. Unfortunately, it didn't go above the bodice of my gown.
But I think you were in the bathroom spritzing yourself quite frequently.
I was. That gown had to come off a few times because, again, like Gail said, it was hot. It was a hot, sticky July weekend. But
once we knew what was causing your rash, though, we were actually able to treat that with an essential oil and aloe preparation, and cleared up pretty quick.
It did. It cleared up really quick, and I have these, what the doctors call weird rashes. They can't seem to understand why I get these rashes that I do, but my body's reacting to something that it doesn't like.
Synthetics, yeah.
It doesn't like it. It is a sign. Hey, this is wrong. So
don't be using that.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, it's been quite a journey for you. I know you've made some diet changes, and you're very mindful of what you put in your mouth now, and you continue to make sure you have exercise in your day and meditation, and that your life as a whole, you're not stress free. We know
I
that.
I would be lying if I said I was stress free. I think everybody has stress in their life, no matter how calm and cool your life may be, but it's how you handle that stress and how you react to that stress that can either hinder or help your body.
Yes, absolutely. But you have come as the saying goes, a long way, baby. I've watched you over the last 4 years and a bit that I've known you, and I've seen you blossom actually from a woman who is not very happy into a sparkling, confident.
It's been a journey, but it's been a learning journey for myself. So I learned a lot about myself in those years, and there was some things I was just able to let go, and I needed to let go and move forward. But I also learned that life is wonderful, and if I'm going to be here walking on this earth, then I'm going to do it the best way that I can. And natural healing just seems to work for me, and not just seems, it does work for me.
Yeah, I've been very privileged to be part of your journey, and it has been a walk at times that has given me great concern as I've seen you go through one thing after another and come out wonderfully the other side. I've had a chance to get to know your family and your daughters and your son, and you've got great kids, and you're very, very fortunate that you have.
I have many blessings, many blessings.
Lots of blessings. And, I really think it's important that we look at the blessings in our lives.
That's right.
As well as, we all have trials and tribulations. Our economy has not been the best in the last years.
Right.
We're all very well aware of. So if we have a job, we're quite thankful for it. We have a roof over our head. We're really thankful for that too. And I think daily, if we were to create our blessings list and journaling is a great way of counting your blessings and keeping a record of the type of journey that you've made, from one point to another. And my husband's actually kept a diary for the last 20 years. It's kind of interesting to look back through it and see various references to things we've done or seen or felt.
And he shares that with you?
He does, yes. He'll say, do you know what we did a year ago?
Not like a teenager where you don't dare read their diary.
Oh, well, I know. But you know what, too? That's a personal thing, so you have to have respect for that. But, I think it's really important that we keep a record of our journeys, so that we can, who knows, at some point in time it may inspire others. I know that the women that I've met on my own journey since my own diagnosis with cervical cancer in 1990 has been a huge privilege for me, and that actually was what prompted me to go on this walk, because God bless my doctor, she did all that she could, but for me it was 2 surgeries. I was really fortunate. I didn't have to have chemotherapy or radiation, but it was 6 months off work, and then having developed chronic osteoarthritis in my knees. I had a very acidic body, obviously. Ended up with another surgery 6 months beyond that, and then developed fibromyalgia beyond that. So those are all in and of themselves like huge wake-up calls when you get them one after another. It's like, okay, I get it. I need to be looking at something different. So